All right, guys. One of you requested a makeup tutorial for when you feel like shit. I have to bleep that because otherwise they'll demonetize me. And that's actually perfect because I have not slept in the last 3 or 4 days. I am so stressed. And I feel like garbage. So today I'm going to show you makeup that is going to help you look a little bit more like alive and awake, but it's also going to be super easy because when you feel like shit, you don't want to have to like do a full face, you know what I mean? Okay, so the first thing is prepping your skin, which I already did. I'm not here to tell you what skincare is gonna work for your skin, but I can tell you that for me, it just meant enhancing my hydration a little bit with the Desi Do Me Over Prep Set and Refresh Face Mist on top of my like other products. I have skincare routines around here, you can check them out, but just like amplifying with a little bit more layering basically. And then rather than using my regular sunscreen, which is Elta MD, I went in with my Aven, I think, sunscreen, which is fragrance-free, oil-free. It's great for like acne-prone skin, but it's much more hydrating, which is probably why you can see a little bit of a glow right now for me. So first up, skin prep, just hydrate yourself. Now, obviously you guys know I'm a dark circle girl, I got them. So the first thing that I'm going to do is do a little bit of color correction for those. And I'm not gonna use my Sicily thing because it's insanely expensive. What I'm gonna use is my LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Light Ivory, which is more of a peach. I don't know why it's called Light Ivory. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this right in the hollow of my eye because especially when I'm not sleeping, you know that darkness is popping. And then I'm just gonna use my fingers to blend it out. I don't wanna talk about my nails. I hated them as soon as she finished. So this is just gonna add a little bit of warmth and coverage. It's gonna prevent my concealer from making my dark circles look gray when I finally put it down. You just need a tiny bit. I think that's the most important thing for like makeup when you're not feeling your best, is you just want less. Less is more hydration and less actual product. As far as coverage goes, I want, you know, not a ton. I don't really need that much, but I do want something that's going to bring my whole face together. So I'm using my Rare Beauty foundation. This is in 170W because it's a more hydrating finish, but it's nice and lightweight, and I don't feel like I need to use a ton of it. So I'm just gonna, you know, pop a little bit, and then a damp sponge, man. If you're feeling like garbage, you're feeling sick, you haven't slept, the extra hydration from a damp sponge, I just feel like it helps to not dry out my skin and keep things looking like nice and fresh. And you can see that I'm going in with a very, very small amount. I don't want too much product here. All right, where I need a little bit more coverage, I'm going in with my Kosas concealer in 02W. And then for underneath my eyes, I'm gonna use my Tarte Light Sand Shape Tape, just because I feel like I need extra coverage, and because I'm nice and dewy right now, I don't think it'll be too drying. But if you do have very dry skin, I wouldn't recommend this. I would recommend Rare Beauty or maybe Kosas. Those have great coverage, but they're not like too drying. And the places that I wanna brighten are the inner corners of my eye, because that gets extra deep or dark when I haven't been sleeping. The outer part, just underneath, and then obviously any areas where you get like a little bit of redness. I'm blending that out with a damp sponge once again. This one is from Givenchy, Bougie Biche. All right, we're already looking a little bit better here. I'm gonna do the tiniest bit of contouring, which is really not necessary, just underneath my jawline and for my nose, just because I feel like I need it. So I'm using the Fenty Matchstick in Amber, and I'm literally just placing the tiniest bit in my contour, like in my cheekbone, just the teeniest bit. All right, I think one of the best things to do, especially when you're feeling like shit and you just like want to go real quick and also you want to keep your skin looking really fresh, is to use a cream product for bronzer. Well, just cream products in general. So this is Golden Tan from Anastasia. I've actually never used this. Well, I swatched it, but I haven't used it yet, and I really want to try it. Somebody yelled at me that I needed to try it, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna use this Morphe M570 brush, and I'm just gonna pat this around the perimeter of my face And I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna add a little bit of warmth, a little bit of definition. So just kind of working in like a C shape, or a 3, that classic 3 shape. Just around the cheekbone, down here, a little bit there, on the jaw, and then a little down the neck. I think bronzer is really going to help like bring some life to your face so that you don't look totally dead, you know? But I'm also trying to keep things soft. I'm not trying to like do so much sculpting. All right, next up, blush. Once again, cream blush is a great idea. I actually just used this is actually a lipstick. I just used it in a minimal makeup tutorial showing you how to maximize your makeup products. And it's now my favorite blush shade. So this is Untold Stories by Revlon. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on my finger. I'm gonna use this as my blush because it's just so beautiful. So I started on the apples of my cheeks, which I don't usually do, but just a natural flush I think is going to be great for if you're sick or if your skin is really dry. And then I'm just going to slowly kind of like bring it onto my cheekbones. So just kind of like diffusing that color. You can even take a little bit like there. This color is just like so beautiful and natural looking. Plus being able to apply it with your fingers is just like an extra bonus. And I'm actually gonna take that same lipstick and I'm gonna put it on my lids for a little bit of color. So rather than using a bronzer, just because I can feel like bronzer can look a little harsh, and maybe this might seem crazy to you, you could use a bronzer, you could use your contour, you don't have to use your blush if you feel like it's gonna be like too red toned and make you look crazy. But I'm just gonna take a little bit and pat it on my lids and blend it up and out, going in with a clean finger just to blot it a little bit. And it just kind of creates like a pretty cohesive rose color. All right, for brows, I'm gonna start off by setting them with my Dr. Bronner's soap. I meant to do my powder first. Whatever. Siva, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why do you destroy everything? I'm gonna wait for that to set. And while I wait, I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit of powder, but that's mostly because I'm just like a little bit too dewy in my T-zone, which is typical of me. If you don't need powder, don't use it, okay? Because it's just gonna dry out your face if you don't need it. But if you do need a tiny bit and you're feeling like shit or you're sick or whatever, just use the tiniest amount, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna use the Sigma Beauty Bird Dream. This is actually a contour brush. I'm gonna set with my Elsie Cosmetics powder like I always do for underneath my, oh, I just dumped that all over my desk. So I'm gonna take a small amount, tap it on the cap, dip into it, tap, dip into it, tap. I wanna make sure I'm going in with just like the tiniest amount. Literally just to make sure I'm setting, to make sure I'm blended under here. And then I'm just gonna take whatever is left over, my T-zone. So literally just like this area. And then right in the center of my forehead. But that's it. If I feel like I need a little bit more, I'll add a little bit more, but I would rather add a small amount than add too much to begin with, you know? All right, for my brows, I'm gonna be using just a little bit of powder. Now that they're nice and set, I don't have time or energy to like go in with a full glam brow, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna use my dual powder in Ash Brown. And then this is just the BH Cosmetics Pack brush. I don't know, it doesn't, I usually use an e.l.f. Like flat liner brush, but it's dirty. So depending on your brows, you could even use a shader brush. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of powder, and then all I'm gonna do is starting like midway, I guess, and the tail, basically like the sparse areas, I'm just pressing some shadow into my brows. So I'm just trying to match up the tails, like amount of color and depth with the rest of like the front of my brow, which is much more full. Like that's all I'm gonna do because I don't have time, okay? I just need something to look a little more like put together. I don't want them to look like bald, you know? But I don't wanna go in and draw individual hairs, so much better. They look great. It's all you need. All right, for my highlights, I am Auric, I can't get enough of. I know she's changing Morganite, which is totally fine. I love the original. I think she said she's gonna make it a little bit lighter, but I'm gonna go in with a cream highlight. Any cream highlight. If you're more oily and you wanna use a powder highlight, Vesca has a really good one. I'm just gonna use like a really small amount of this. And all I'm gonna do is hit the tops of my cheekbones, okay? And then I'm gonna take whatever's left over, I'm just gonna blend it up to my brow bone. So I just want this area to look nice and hydrated. And then for my inner corner, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna pick up a teeny bit of that. I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand. Picking up a little bit of that with the, this is the Unit 201 brush. Just a super small amount, and I'm gonna place this in my inner corner. Wiping off any excess. I'm just gonna dab it. I don't wanna take it everywhere, but it just gives like a really pretty highlight, makes your skin look like super dewy, and it's not like very obvious like a powder highlight can be. All right, I'm gonna give my lashes a quick curl using my Velour lash curler, which is my new favorite. And then I'm actually gonna go in with my, this is the Dior Show Waterproof Mascara in brown. I think it's just brown. Does it say? Oh, it doesn't say the color anywhere, but, oh wait, 698, but it's the brown one. I'm like trying to focus on the skin here, you know? And I don't wanna bring like too much attention to the eyes because sometimes I think it can just look a little like too much when you have very natural face makeup, like natural glowy face makeup, and then like black lashes if your hair isn't, you know, is light like mine. And this is actually a very soft waterproof mascara because I know a lot of you guys say that some waterproof mascaras are just like too harsh on your lashes. So it adds like a little, you know, open to the eyes without being like so intense, like intense and black. I'm gonna pop a little bit of the Swede Bright Satin Kohl eyeliner in my waterline just to open them up, open my eyes up a little bit. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of that mascara on my like outer corner lower lashes. All right, for my lips, I'm going in with blush by Dominique Cosmetics. Lip liner just to give a little definition and color. Just like a small amount, not really overlining, I'm just kind of defining. And I'm actually just gonna kind of blot the edge. And then I'm gonna go in with the Kosas Wet Lip Oil. This is in the shade Unzip. All right guys, that's it for this video. Finished look. Super quick, super easy, just like tiny amounts of nice hydrating products that are gonna make your skin look like juicy and healthy, but it's easy. Like you just don't have time, you don't have the energy, okay? But you look like nice, now you just look flawless, you know what I mean? It looks like, oh, she's just like naturally so beautiful. Let me know what your favorite products to use are when you are either in a rush, you don't feel good, you're sick, but you're like trying not to look like a total zombie. Okay? Bye.